CPA candidates, those that are thinking about becoming a CPA. Let me tell you why I became a CPA, why I still love being a CPA, and what the opportunities are for you when you become a CPA. And then I want to tell you the biggest thing that will help motivate you through the process of becoming a CPA, taking the exam, doing all the necessary steps so that you will become a CPA, get those three letters behind your name. So the reason that I became a CPA, now this is all the way back in 1990 when I started thinking about this. I was a sophomore in college, Abilene Christian University, and I had taken my first accounting class. And what I loved about it was putting together a puzzle. It seemed fun. There was a calculation to it. You don't have to be good at math to be a CPA because we have a calculator, we have computers. But what I liked was how things were fitting together. But the next thing that I really loved is that what really makes the world turn? Money. So at the access point, the center, the cross point of about everything, it involves money, whether it's for a religious organization, whether it's for business, whether it's for the household, it involves money. And who is seen as the expert as it's related to things related to numbers and money? Well, for many, what first comes to mind would be a certified public accountant. So for me, it seemed exciting in terms of what I could be doing, and it seemed as though the opportunities would be endless. But I will tell you this, the reason that I then really got interested in becoming a CPA is that my grandfather was a CPA. And so after that first class, on the first day of my sophomore year, on that accounting 101, I went home, called my grandfather, who had a tax practice and had been practicing for his entire career as a CPA doing tax work. And I said, I really, really am loving this. I know that you're CPA, don't know what that really means, but will you tell me more? But what I'm telling you is this. The reason that I called my grandfather is that when I was growing up, what I saw the few times that I did get to see him was that he always seemed happy. He always seemed successful. He had the gold watch and the suit and the seersucker suit and played golf and had the fancy cars and had a beach house and a nice house and was on the water and had a boat and had his own office, knew lots of people. And that was attractive to me. To be honest with you, it was about the lifestyle. That's why I wanted to become a CPA. It also seemed like a great way, with all the opportunities that I told you, to have security in myself making money then for the future and for my family and all the goals that I had setting out, thinking of what would be what I do after I graduate. And my grandfather laid out for me what he did, and then I just really followed suit. He has his own practice, and so that's what I ended up doing, having my own tax practice. So my entire career, I have been in tax with my own CPA practice the last 26, 27 years in the business altogether, for 31 going on 32 years. And I still love it. The reason that I still love it, though, is that you're really helping people with that expertise, with the talent, thrown together with an interest in wanting to help people. As I told you in the beginning, everything is related to money. Again, you could say, well, how is a charity related to money? Easily, it needs money to run. How is a religious organization related to money? Same thing. What about a business? What about the household? What about having the lifestyle that you want? What about being as successful as you can be financially to then have the freedoms that go along with that? And so I love helping people, and I love that I've gotten to help so many people out throughout my career. And one of the ways that I've really been able to help them is not necessarily from the expertise, but it's helping them understand their numbers, understand taxes, understand what that means when you spend money, what that means when you save money, looking to the future and having money, what that can lead to. and helping clients save taxes so that they then are able to enjoy life with what's left over, so to speak. And so that's really what makes me get up every day and be excited about being a CPA. Now, could I have done all those things without those three letters, without being a CPA? Well, sure, but I don't believe I would have been as successful as quickly. And the reasoning for that is that before I even walk into a room, if somebody knows that I'm coming, they don't typically know that it's me. They don't know that it's my name, but they know that the CPA is coming, meaning you, when you become a CPA. People say, oh, the CPA is coming in, whether that's the banker, the financial advisor, the attorney, the client, whether it's the business owner, oh, getting ready to meet with my CPA. See, you carry those three letters, but it is an identity. And before you even walk in the room, before you even get introduced, there's already an expectation of who you are and what you had to do to get where you are to have those three letters. And so that helped me become more successful and quicker because I didn't have to really prove myself as much as if I didn't have those three letters. Now, the other aspect of being a CPA is that there is then that expectation that a CPA knows everything about numbers. And I do have to correct people many times to say, well, I'm not familiar in that area, or I'm not an expert in real estate in terms of prices and value. When should I buy? When should I sell? Now, I've got great experience in that and helping clients make decisions. But with this being said, there's then also an expectation that you're an expert because you are a CPA. So that leads to really the biggest thing that these three letters bring is trust, a much quicker way to earn trust. And so in earning trust, that helps you get the job that you want, be promoted possibly quicker than maybe your peers, because there's already this expectation that you're an expert and that you are somebody that can be trusted. So same thing in bringing on clients. When somebody comes there, well, I'm coming to meet with a CPA. They're not worried about, well, who's Joshua Jensen? What they're looking at is, okay, I'm going to meet with the CPA, and they already have all the expectations. What they want to know is, are you going to be able to help them? So the biggest thing that you really should be looking at in terms of why you want to become a CPA is, do you want to have that credibility as an add-on to who you already are? You're already impressive. You're already going to basically dazzle those that you're going to come in contact with. And you're going to succeed. You're going to do all the things that you want to do. But it will be just that much easier if you have those three letters and you have that opportunity to get there. Many will look around and they look at their current circumstances and they think, well, I don't know that I really need to become a CPA. I've got this great job. Or I'm not going to really ever deal with numbers, so I don't know that I need the CPA. Or I'm not going to even be in tax, or I'm not going to even do accounting. But see, the thing is that no matter where you go, no matter what you do, those three letters are now attached to your name, comma, CPA. So whether you go into advertising, church planting, it goes into any area, you start your own business, those that you're around, that you're doing business with, that you're asking to trust you to give money if you're in a charitable circumstance, or to basically help you with your own business or whatever it is, you're going to have what I indicated earlier, that trust factor that's built into that. So with this, you don't have to go into numbers per se. You don't have to go into tax. The other thing, though, is that when you look at your current circumstances, you don't really know where you're going to be in 5 years and in 10 years and what opportunities will come. But no matter what those opportunities are, no matter where you move to, whether it's physically or in your career, you're always going to have that identity along with you. Now, maybe you're going to stay home for a period of time and take care of your kiddos, let's say, for an example. Well, when you then decide to get back into the workforce, you're still going to have that identity. All those things are going to follow you into then the next step. And I will tell you this, if you're a parent and you don't technically traditionally have a a paying job. You have a job of taking care of the household and your kiddos, but any volunteer group that you're a part of, you're going to be seen as that trusted individual. So how do you stay motivated? One of the things that I did that I recommend to you that I think will carry you through the process of whether it's making the decision to become a CPA or studying to get the CPA exam passed or getting the experience and all the additional steps that are required to become a CPA is to simply do this and do it often, especially when you're feeling discouraged, especially when you're feeling tired, especially when you're questioning it. I want you to sign your name, comma, and write CPA. And how does that look to you? So even if you're deciding, do I want to be a CPA? Sign your name, that's my JJ, and put CPA after it and go, wow, do I like that? Now, if you're on your way to do it, I think that'll definitely be a motivator because everything you're doing, everything you're working towards is for that. And now that's forever your resume. That goes into any room before you. Those three letters. That's what this is all about. Now, many, they may not be in a position to become a CPA because you got to have 30 hours of accounting. You have to have 150 hours of college education altogether. You got to take the CPA exam. You got to have the experience and all that good stuff. Many may then go, you know what? I want to go into accounting. I want to go into tax, but I'd have to go all the way back to school. I would have to go and get 30 hours of accounting. I'd have to get more schooling than what I did to get to the 150 hours. I have to now take the CPA exam, and I don't know that I can actually do that. Well, if you're going into the area of tax, I would encourage you to look into becoming what's called an enrolled agent. It is a designation with the IRS. And what it does is, in the eyes of the IRS, it puts you on a very similar level with a CPA and an attorney in terms of being able to represent your client before the IRS. So an attorney, a CPA, and an EA are the big three that can represent their client to the IRS, as in on behalf of the client. You have continuing education. You have to pass a rigorous exam, but there's no education requirements. So if you're going to get into the tax world, get that designation if it's just not really in your picture to be able to get those three letters. Now, with this, I'm just going to tell you in closing that many around you are going to listen to what you're saying about becoming a CPA, and they're going to help you make that decision. So when you have doubt and you're expressing doubt, what you're sending the message to for those that are around you, your friends, your loved ones, your spouse, your family, is that you don't really want to do this. And so really, they're going to help you then decide not to do it. So you really have to just come to your own conclusion because these three letters are for you and after your name, your family, your friends, all of them. It doesn't go behind their name. So when you're whining, complaining, you're tired, hey, all that's okay. I get it. But when you're expressing it and then you're saying, well, should I? What's heard by those around you is, oh, they don't think they should. And so then they want to make you feel better about not becoming a CPA. That's what friends and family are there to do, help you get to an easier solution and help you feel good about it. And what you're going to hear are the things that you don't need those three letters. You're still going to be successful. You've got a good job already. You're not going into accounting. You're not going into tax. But what they're not considering are the things that I indicated to you. And so with this, let me tell you in closing. So I've written 3 books. Here is the second version of this book. And probably this is more meant for those that are wanting to do business with the CPA, but you learn a lot about the CPA. It's CPA cracking the CPA code. But I wrote this book because I want to save the CPA profession for my son, who's on his way to becoming a CPA. And what I talk about right here in the beginning, as of the date that I wrote this, is that you have tremendous opportunity when you become a CPA. What am I talking about there? So if you really got to be convinced further, and that's A-OK, Right now, there are 672,587 active CPAs. Within the next 10 to 15 years, we are going to lose 75% of those CPAs, mostly to retirement, exiting the profession. Last year, there was only 18,847 new CPAs. So when we now look at that 75% loss, we're going to lose 504,440 CPAs in the next 10 to 15 years. That means that we're going to have a shortage of about 300,000 CPAs compared to where we are now. So the value of the CPA is going to increase, whether you're in tax or not, because if there's less CPAs in the future, you're just that much more valuable. So if you really need to hear, well, why would I want to do it if I don't think I need it now? You're really just only looking at the next 5 to 10 years. I want you to really think through, you're going to live longer than 5 to 10 years. You probably got another 50 plus years to go, maybe 60. And the rest of your life, as my grandfather told me, you will have those 3 letters behind your name. When you're 30, you're 40, you're 50, you're 60, you're 70, you're 80, you get to 100, you're 114 years old. You will have the CPA behind your name. And when you fast forward, so if you're age 20 right now, when you hit 30, 35, you're going to be even much more in demand. When people are looking around, you're going to be that much more seen as the expert, that much more trusted. So with that being said, talk about a ton of value that's increasing when you look at those 3 letters. So with this, I hope that you would stick with it. I hope that you would get after getting that exam passed. Here's what I want you to know. You're going to pass it eventually. It doesn't matter that you failed it once, twice, 3 times. That doesn't matter. You're going to pass it. You will. You just have to be persistent. Just keep going. Keep going. Whatever sacrifices you have right now are going to be worth it, and you're not going to remember it. You know, the Saturday that you missed with your friends, the Saturday that you missed, whatever it is, or the evening or the Sunday afternoon, you're not going to remember those things even in 2 months, 6 months, a year. But what you are going to remember in 6 months or a year or whenever you get those 3 letters is that you worked hard, you sacrificed, and you got those 3 letters. It's a very short period of time of what you could call sacrifice of doing other things. So don't take the easy way out. Don't convince yourself you don't need it. Because I would just say this, if you're already having the discussion in your head, that means you then have the opportunity to become a CPA. You want to get your MBA? Do it. You want to get your doctorate? Do it. You want to get other designations? Do it. But getting your CPA, just a fact, will always be seen here versus any other designation that you get, versus any degree that you get beyond your accounting degree. As valuable as they will be to you and as awesome as they will be, and they'll be wonderful and they'll be worth it. And I'm not downplaying at all these other designations or those other degrees or the master's or the doctorate. I'm not discounting those things. All I'm telling you is that the CPA always will trump that. Okay? So if you're really going, well, I don't really want to do all the work to become a CPA. I want to get this other designation. Okay. Or I'd like to go ahead and get my master's or the MBA, or I want to get the doctorate. Here's what I'm telling you. If you were comparing getting the CPA to other designations, it's just going to not be that different. It requires more studying and getting the experience. So then pick, get them both. Great. Going and getting another degree, getting the master's, getting the doctorate. Well, you would definitely have had your CPA by the time you finished a doctorate. So do all of those things, achieve all of your dreams. Again, not discounting those things. All I'm saying is no matter what letters you have behind your name, that CPA is going to be right here and it will trump them all in the business world. All right. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I'd love it if you'd subscribe. And then don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me, JJ, the CPA. All right. Tell me about your progress in the comments. Tell me where you are. You need encouragement? I'd love to give that to you.